Hello, Jeffrey Baffle here, Humble Bumble Chess Services book review today. Da-da-da-da. Okay, so closely related to this book. Okay, so we're talking about the origin of good moves. This is Willie Hendrix's book where he explains the development of chess through history. How did human beings get to the level of skill that they're at today? Um, Unfortunately, the as much as we love the old chess players from 100, 150 years ago, they made a lot of mistakes. They simply weren't as good as the modern players. That's been objectively proven uh, long before Hendrix made that statement. Grandmaster John Nunn did historical analysis of great tournaments and found that there was just a lot of poor play. There's just no other way to say it. There was plenty of brilliant play and plenty of good play, but there was just so many more errors than are found today that we can safely say, as much as it might hurt our hero worship love of players like Morphy and Chigorin, Steinitz, folks like that, they just weren't as good. And when you think about it, it's kind of logical that players should get better over time because one of the central points of the book is that improvement at chess is the same for every player. You find moves based on your knowledge, and your knowledge changes based on your experience and study. So usually these are gradual changes that you're able to look backwards and see what happened to you in the past, what other players have done, and make improvements and changes. And these accumulate. There's a cumulative effect of these changes and these increases in small bits of knowledge that over time make you a much better chess player, and that's the same thing that's happened to chess in general. So what Hendrix does in this book is he goes into the past. He looks at players like Steinitz, Lasker, Chigorin, and finds out who made what advances. And what he finds may surprise you. Wilhelm Steinitz is largely regarded by people as the father of positional chess. And what Hendrix has found is that basically Steinitz did a horrible job of putting down into a coherent form what he felt about chess. You can glean bits and pieces of it from this game, that note on what, here and there, but there's nowhere where he sat down and really gave a comprehensive evaluation. More of that was done by Lasker than any other player of that era, but he talks about a lot of things. Hendrix talks about a lot of these concepts were known even back as far as the 1600s and 1700s. Here's one example I wanted to show you here about the book, and that is the elements of positional play. And as you know, I like to talk about the elements. And one of the things that he found was that you couldn't locate a specific source for what Steinitz believed were the elements. That he had to glean these from various different sources, and then they came out to be things that a lot of players and writers talked about for decades, if not hundreds of years prior to him. So what he's going to do in this exploration of chess history is he's going to show you uh, a lot of different players deserve a second look, and he's going to show you what contributions were made that maybe because chess literature tends to be so incestuous that one writer copies from another writer. Nobody really actually goes back and looks at the source materials. That if you do that, if you go back and look at games, not just the spectacular games that get reprinted over and over again, but games that are just maybe not that sparkling but they're nonetheless impactful in terms of our understanding of what constitutes good chess play. I can't recommend this book strongly enough, and also the like I said, his preceding book, the Move First, Think Later. Both of those are going to really challenge you and help you grow as a chess player. The chess in it is at the start of each chapter. He's going to have a list of exercises, and he's going to weave those into the chapter in terms of what was the thinking behind the move, how what was missed, what was found later, how was it used as a building block for future play. Let me just really quickly go through the table of contents here, and you can see the different topics that are covered. There we go. This is a large book, over 420 pages, but you're not going to be disappointed. It's a fascinating book. You're going to go back to it again and again. So highly recommended. You can find it on Amazon.com or New in Chess. Gets 2 thumbs up from Humble Bumble Chess Services. Thanks for tuning in.